What's going on, kids? Today is one of those rare days where I actually get to work from home. So that is awesome, and I'm taking a little break. And the sun is shining, the snow is melting, finally. Yes. But this is a contest response video for Leftyndv. Your top 10 favorite non-game used, non-autographed cards, basically non-hit cards, which all the kids are going after these days. I don't have 10 of them per se. I've got like a lot of them, but some of them go together. So let us begin, shall we? No particular order, really. I'll start out with these. There's 4 of them, but they're all from the same set. 1998 Topps Football. Wonderful product. Gorgeous insert cards. Obviously Manning and Randy Moss's rookie years. Yada yada yada. I must have busted a lot of those boxes. And back in '98, I was in middle school, and back then a box would cost $60, and $60 is, you don't easily come by that when you're that age. But it was my favorite product to bust, and I would always constantly beg my mom so I can do chores around the house so I can get enough money to buy a box, because I was never satisfied with buying a couple packs at a time. No, I want the box. But anyway, they had an insert set in that product called the Mystery's Finest, and Topps did that throughout the 90s. They had a Mystery Finest set, and it was 1 per box, and the cards had a black film over it, hence mystery. And so you would gently pull back the black film, and it would reveal who the player is. Because on the back of each of these cards, there's 4 different players. Like, for example, this one is Steve Young, Dan Marino, Brett Favre, and what's that guy's name? Drew Bledsoe. So you knew it was one of these 4 players, but you had to pull back the black film to slowly reveal what the mystery was. And I actually have 4 of them. And the reason I chose these is because to this day, it is one of my favorite looking designs for a card. The colors just pop, and unfortunately these aren't the refractors, because the refractors are so gorgeous, so gorgeous. But one of these days I'm going to sack up and complete this set. But anyway, here is the John Elway. I know the light's kind of shitty, but that's the John Elway. And all of these were pulled, mind you. All of them were pulled, which is awesome. The Brett Favre, and it's like, I really maybe if I take it out of the top loader here, you guys will get a better idea for what these cards look like. If you haven't ever seen these cards, these things are stunning. Oh, so pretty. So the John Elway, the Brett Favre, Dan Marino, and Drew Bledsoe. And one of the nice things about this set today is I could probably put that set together for $20. Just go and check out my cards and just put them all. But however, I would like the refractors, and the refractors are a little bit more pricey, but still such a gorgeous set. I've kept these. Cards have come and gone through my fingertips for years and years and years, but I always kept these because I can't bring myself to get rid of these because they're just so gorgeous. Anyway, moving on. Back in 1992, the biggest name in sports, period, was Shaquille O'Neal. And I was in elementary school, and Shaquille O'Neal was like a household name. Everybody knew who he was. And the reason I chose this card is for its iconic factor. I mean, this card was iconic back in the day. And I was so jealous because in 1992-93 Upper Deck, they included a trade card with a silhouette shadow of Shaquille O'Neal dunking a basketball. And it was basically like one of the first redemption cards ever made. If you pulled that redemption card, you would get Shaquille O'Neal's trade rookie. And that was like probably the birth of the redemption. So this card right here is iconic. I don't remember if this was the trade version or if this was the regular version that came within the regular set. But I was so pissed because my brother had pulled the trade version and he redeemed it. I was so upset that he got it and I didn't, that I may have cried. I did cry. And I begged him. I begged my brother, please, 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 let me have it. And my brother's kind of a dick, so he wouldn't give it to me. However, this card is just iconic. It doesn't have a lot of value these days because, like I said, nobody cares about rookies and regular cards anymore. Everybody cares about hits, and that's a shame. But this is the Shaquille O'Neal 92-93 Upper Deck draft pick card. And it's just an iconic picture, you know, that, I don't know what you call that, the still frame of him going up for a monster jam. Anyway, that's it. And that's card number, if you can see that right there, card number 1. Moving along. Back in 1998, when I was in 8th grade, along with Topps football, weird, around like 96, all throughout middle school, I was just balls deep into hockey. I couldn't get enough hockey products. Hockey had some of the best looking designs, and they were absolutely friggin' gorgeous. I loved it. But for some reason, and being an Avalanche fan, for some reason I had the best luck when it came to hockey products in the 90s. Like, you know, these were back in the days when inserts meant something, and I would always pull the best insert, the best card from a particular insert set. And at the time, the best card, actually, like the most valuable one, would be Patrick Waugh. And I had the best luck with Patrick Waugh's. Like, I would always pull a Patrick Waugh. And back then, when this product first came out, these cards were huge. 97 Donruss, just straight Donruss. The Between the Pipes insert set, Patrick Waugh. The reason why I've held on to this card, back then it was numbered out of 3,500. Okay, I saved this card because back then when I pulled it, this was a $60 monster. Back then, $60 was a terrific amount when you pulled an insert card. Same goes for this one. This one is 97 Pacific. Here is the Patrick Waugh from that one. Back then, this was a $60 card out of pack. So I've always, always, always held on to these two. I just can't bring myself to ever move them. You know, if I listed them on eBay, I'd probably get a penny for them. But anyway, and last but not least, 97-98 Donruss Canadian Ice was the name of the product. This is the subset Les Gardiens, French for the Guardians or the goalies. Patrick Waugh. I'm not going to get enough of that shine on there, but this one is numbered out of 1,500. And when I pulled this card back in 98, this was an $80 insert. 80. So that was huge. I actually had this fucking like hanging on my wall at some point. I was so proud of it. I bragged about it. It was great. The next two cards, I didn't want to overload it with rookie cards, but these cards are just iconic. In the history of the hobby, these cards are iconic. And if I ever got off my ass and actually decided to send some cards in to get graded, these are the two that I would send to get graded because I've been staring at these cards for years and I still have yet to find a flaw with any of them. Like, the centering is perfect, everything is perfect, surface is gorgeous. The 1983 Topps John Elway rookie card. Iconic. And there it is. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, but this thing is absolutely flawless. So if I were to ever send anything to get graded, that would be one of them. And the next one is like, it's this card is, when I say this card is iconic, this card is just light years in terms of like the importance and the history and the meaning of this card, because this is the card that started it all. That started it all for Upper Deck. And call it fate, call it what you will, but this is card number 1 out of Upper Deck's very first product they ever made, and it just happens to be the rookie card of Ken Griffey Jr. This card is insanely important to the history of this hobby, and it took me 20 years to finally get one. And being stubborn as I always am, I didn't want to buy one, I wanted to pull one. So anytime I went to a show or anytime I went to a different shop and they had packs of 89 Upper Deck, I would grab all of them just to get this card. There you go, card number 1. Fate works in mysterious ways. And last but not least, since I'm at 11 minutes right now, last but not least, number 1, this was given to me as a gift from the man, the myth, the legend, Brad8671. It's a one of one. It's the Superfractor 2006 Bowman Chrome Jake Plummer. One of one. It doesn't have to have an autograph on it, and it doesn't have to have a patch for a card to be gorgeous and for it to mean something. So, big shout out to Brad8671. Thank you for that. There's that little hologram on it right there that says one of one, as well as the one of one down here. This card will never, ever, ever, ever leave my possession. So yeah, that is my my top. Is that 10? 1, 2, 3, 4. Top 7 non-game used, non-autographed cards I have in my collection today. I guess I should probably stop dicking around and go back to work. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leftyndv. Show off your stuff, man. We enjoy it.